Hello, people of the internet.
Ian and Joe here with the Something Vloggy CADW Challenge.
Attempting to visit and film all 130 sites in the care of CADW in 1 year.
Today we're visiting Caerleon Amphitheatre.
Caerleon was a Roman legionary fortress, although the Romans called it Isca, after the nearby river Usk.
It was the home of Augustus' second legion. The legion's commander, Vespasian, went on to become Roman emperor.
This is the best preserved Roman amphitheatre in Britain.
It was built around 90 AD.
When in use, it had seating for over 6,000 spectators who would have watched spectacles such as animal hunts and gladiatorial combat.
It was also used by the Roman army as a parade ground.
The amphitheatre was constructed outside the fort, the walls of which run along one side of the amphitheatre, some 16 years after the building of the fort. In 1926, the Daily Mail sponsored the excavation of 30,000 tonnes of soil to reveal the amphitheatre.
Since the Middle Ages, up until this excavation, it had been known as King Arthur's Round Table.
Of course it had.
Yeah, I know, right? So this is one of the many ways into the amphitheatre. There are quite a few scattered around the edges. Some of them would have been for the public, some of them would have been for the competitors.
Imagine, if you will, that you are a Roman gladiator. You are going to be kept in this little tiny room here until it's your turn to go out and fight whatever foe it is that they have in store for you. That could be another gladiator, or it could be a wild animal. It could be all sorts of things. You never know. But if you're Roman, or at least you worship the Roman gods and you're being kept in here, then behind me here, this little alcove is a shrine. You do a bit of praying, make an offering to the gods, and then when you go out, you can feel certain that the gods will be on your side, that you have appeased them enough to allow you to win. Above you sits some wealthy family or a bunch of dignitaries in their private box as they wait to watch you go out and face your foe.
So these steps take you out onto the seating area where you can sit and watch the spectacles taking place below you. Otters' noses, get them while they're hot, they're lovely. It's really hard to imagine that these seats, A, would have been higher up, and B, would have been full of people shouting and cheering and generally making a ruckus. Right now, all you could imagine being held here is Shakespeare, a bit of light theatre, whereas this was a whole another level of entertainment.
From the outside it looks quite small, but once you get in here you realise it's not small at all. The view from up above must be something spectacular, especially if blood and guts and gore are being spilled. The Romans were slightly more civilised than just a matter of beating the living daylights out of people. I would imagine that great debates would go on here and possibly poetry readings, the occasional play. Imagine how the people who lived here before the Romans arrived saw this. This was major engineering works. What did you think?
I thought many things. It's a bit weird because I know this is supposed to have been the site of many noisy things, but all I can imagine here now is Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see a play here. I do wonder whether they'd do that with it.
It's interesting to see how entertainment has changed so much. I think it was brave of them, quite frankly, to come to Wales and go, I know what was a really great idea, outside theatre.
Yes. Yeah, you'd have to wait for the good weather, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Which originally we've been
got 5
lucky
minutes.
With. Yes, well, there is that.
In Rome, they would have been used to having lots of outside events with not much worry, but here...
Mind you, I suppose, because of the fact that the thing would have been much taller than it is now, it would have been quite enclosed. It would have been warmer than it is at this height.
It's warmer down here, but on the... Yeah, I suppose, actually, with that amount of people, they would have been fine.
Yes,
yeah.
It would have been. It's a bit like going to see a football match. It warms up quite quickly.
I think it's a pleasant place to be. I'd rather see it with an event happening, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's certainly fascinating. There's an awful lot of work has gone into building this place.
Yes, you can see, because judging by how much of the foundations are left, because normally you get just kind of like the very basic foundations rather
Yeah.
than this.
I mean, you've got to bear in mind, this thing's nearly 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
It's,
No.
It's kind of quite something that
It's
it's
lasted.
still here.
Yeah.
I think that's it from us here at Caerleon Amphitheatre, don't you?
I do too. So, if you like our films, don't forget to click that pesky little subscribe button
And if you want to get notifications, then please click the little bell to give it some ears.
See you next time.
TDFN.